Hi guys, welcome to Literary Milestones channel, and today with us we again have our most returning author, and I welcome you on board. Hi Rajani ma'am.
Hi, how are you?
I'm great. How are you? And how do you feel to be back again?
Now it starts feeling like home.
Okay. So today we are here going to have a conversation on the book called Guilt Trip. And here I'm going to quickly ask you very few questions. So the first question that I want to ask you is what was the spark or moment that led you to the guilt trip?
Guilt trip. So I always, as an individual, have always been contemplating that, it's always given that women are very multitaskers. Women are, you know, how could you miss? So if you actually asked me, the trigger was that one of the days I just kind of, in routine act of things which I was doing and keeping, and suddenly somebody just asked me that how could you miss it? So I just felt that, have I become a superwoman? Have I become a superpower? Why can I not miss? And guilt trip is all about it's okay if you miss something. It's okay to miss. So that was the trigger actually.
Oh, okay. So as you know, in the last session we discussed about Rumi. So I want to ask, how did your writing evolve from Rumi to the themes of the guilt trip, the weight of being Laddu?
So Guilt Trip is, of course, it's my first book which I had written. It's very close to my heart because it has a lot of resonance of a lot of women I have seen, not just in the mirror as me, but also people who, all the women who have always reflected. So I'll tell you a very typical example. In our houses, we would see that, the lady of the house is kind of arranging for the spouse's clothes,
Yeah.
keeping the children ready. Everybody, there is a lot of hustle bustle. She may also try and keep some seniors ready. Like if there is an elderly lady, she will do her up. If there is an elderly man, do you need coffee, tea, whatever? And then suddenly everybody will say, oh, you're not ready? We are already late. So,
Yeah.
it is just those small little instances when you're brought up in a joint family, you see it with your own mother, maybe sometimes with your friends, with your sisters, with your bhabis, so many people. So, it's not one. And I always tell people it's not one. And the style of evolvement is also once you achieve the last page of guilt trip where you become comfortable with yourself, you as a person start evolving. That's why that writing has also evolved from a guilt trip to, you know, uh, my other book, Audacity of Being Enough, and then now to Rumi. And, it is just phases, these phases. But guilt trip sums you all.
Okay. Okay, that's quite interesting and something one can look forward into indulging into such writing.
Yeah, somebody told me that somebody who had just read Guilt Trip, a very senior working professional, she's like, I promised you I'll read it in 3, 4 days and give you a feedback. And she called that night only. She's like, I couldn't leave it. So for me, that was a breath of fresh air because, like that I write short and I write very witty. Witty only for the reason that at times when you have pain packed with humor,
Yeah,
it is less hurtful, more deep but less hurtful.
it is like it's like we use wit as a weapon or as a shield.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So, because it's like a sugar coated medicine, then it does
right.
not trouble you with its bitterness.
Yes, perfect. I agree with this. Okay, so can you describe your emotional journey that you went through while writing Guilt Trip?
For me, when I was writing Guilt Trip, I actually lived a lot of situations
Okay.
because the part of body shaming, I have been through that phase. I have been a very healthy child, I would say, and a very healthy girl. So, but very soon in life, luckily, not just like being Laddu, but luckily, Rajani became very conscious of her being and very conscious of the fact that she doesn't need validation very strong. I think that helped. But here, I obviously had to track a character's journey. And I also wanted to say that, what are the things? What are the things we are all, kind of looking forward to in life? And there are so many stages where you seek validation as a woman. As
Yes.
a woman, at times you feel that, maybe if I'm a good daughter, I'll be, I aspire to be a good daughter to my parents, the best. It's not just the good, the best spouse, the best mother. And when we realize that in life you come a little less than that best, that's where it starts hurting you. Guilt
Perfect.
trip is genuinely about that, it is okay not being best.
So if you had to choose one message you want to give to your readers that they can take from your work, what it would be?
Be your own best version. You're always under renovation.
Yeah, perfectly, like pen, perfect. Like in a very small line, it like sum up. Everything is sum up under it. We all try to thrive and be the best version of ourselves, and one shouldn't, one shouldn't feel disheartened when someone, give their validation, not validation, give their, what we can say, something negative. If they say, we can just always take the criticism and work on it. But yeah, no, every criticism shouldn't be concealed as an insult, is what I feel. Apart from this, do you have like any writing ritual, like time of the day or music that helps you stay in your creative zone?
No, I am a very creative person overall. So I think for me, anything other than writing becomes a distraction when I'm writing. So yeah, but I really enjoy my own company at times. And I think that time becomes when you're like really done with everything in the day. So that half an hour, 45 minutes in the night, when you're all by yourself and you're no longer the loving mother, the loving spouse, the adoring daughter. You're just yourself, because you write best when you're only talking to yourself. And of course, you're divine, because you're nothing without your divine. The divine energies connect with you. See, we don't. You really think I will have the capacity to write, or you will have a capacity to do it? No. It is the divine force which puts in, which helps us flow this energy through us. So there is no point being, modest about it, and there is no point being pompous about it. You just have to be grateful. So that's my grateful time, first thing in the morning and last thing in the night before sleeping. Because you're so lucky that at least, you are so full of ideas. You're not full of only pain, guilt, hurt, everything, but you're full of ideas. So that is also the beauty of the divine. So that's the time. It's just that thing which you can do.
That's nice. Okay, what's that one piece of advice you wish someone would have given you when you first started writing?
Uh, I think one piece of advice I listened to my spouse when he read my first work. He said that, I get your point, don't re-emphasize. So because that at times when something is so hurt deep within you, you try and re-emphasize this. I'm making myself clear types. So he said you don't have to do that, you're again justifying. So I think I follow that advice. And if you see, there is a plethora of work which has happened beyond Guilt Trip than, all the other couple of 5 6 books. So yeah, I think it has become more evolved and a little more at peace.
Okay, that's nice. I mean, the every time, I guess with each book you might be evolving, you might be learning a lot of new things, and you'll be
Absolutely.
implementing a lot of new things in your journey.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah. With this, I want to ask you the very last question. Which part of writing process do you enjoy the most, like drafting, editing, or preparing for publication? Which is the one?
I love the first hand piece of it when I'm writing, when the publishers tell me at times to edit and rework on pieces. I really cry. I don't like revisiting things in life, whether it's work or
Okay.
whichever ways. So I'm not very good at repeat. I want people to have a repeat. acknowledgement of the work and all, but I'm not very good at repeating myself. So, I think that, it should be so clear in one time that ways. But yeah, it is also a scientific process. You have to get attuned and accustomed to it. What you're thinking is what in your mind, and you've tried to write it down, but you never know, has it reached that audience? So the thumb rule of communication, which we would have learned as kids, that communication was all about reaching and then hearing the response back. So that ways.
Okay.
So yeah, I,
Well,
I think that ways, yeah, that growth is happening.
I hope you achieve your aim and keep growing.
Yeah, thank you all for so much love. I think love keeps you growing. That's the best fertilizer, and very very grateful for this opportunity, because at the end of the day, it is the gratitude which will multiply all blessings.
It was great having you here, ma'am, and I hope to see you again. This is
Sure.
all I can say.
Thank you. Thanks.
Thank you. And Literal Milestone is always grateful and will always welcome you whenever you want any of us help, and we are here for you. And you can
Sure.
just reach out to us anytime.
Yeah. Thank you.